You met Mrs. Barkley?
Well, apparently not. I guess my family didn't get my letter.
You figure how you're going to get home?
Oh, yes, I saw a light in my son's office as we drove past. That means he's working late. So I'll ride home with him.
It's a bit late for a lady walking alone. If you wait a minute, I'll go with you.
Oh, no, Sam, don't bother. I'll be all right. And I'll send for my luggage first thing in the morning. Good night.
Good night.
Buddy! Buddy! But... Jared! Jared, I saw him. I saw him do it. I saw him kill her.
Who?
Buddy Tyrone.
Buddy Tyrone, are you sure?
Oh, how could I be mistaken? I'm his godmother. I've known him since he was a baby.
Just calm
Jared,
down.
what are we going to do?
Calm
What
down. Now, you come on over to the office and have a glass of brandy.
We'd like to see the judge.
Very late.
Well, I'm very sorry, but this won't keep till morning.
It's all right, Wingley. I'm always available to the sheriff. Victoria, my dear. Jared, what an unexpected pleasure. I'm afraid it's anything but that, George. Oh? Perhaps we'd better go into the parlor. Wingley, some tea for Mrs. Barkley.
No, thank you, nothing.
Sit down, Victoria. Gentlemen,
What time did your son get home tonight, Judge Tyrone?
get home? I don't believe he was out of the house. Why?
Are you certain he didn't leave?
Well, I haven't actually seen him since dinner, but he said he was going to study in his room tonight. He's in the last year of law school, you know. Going to give Jared here some competition.
Would your servant know for sure?
Wingley?
Your master has not left house.
Sheriff, I don't appreciate being kept at a disadvantage like this. What possible difference does it make whether or not my son was at home tonight?
A woman was shot to death in town tonight. My mother was the only eyewitness.
You've accused my son?
George, I'd give anything in the
Well,
world.
this is ridiculous, Victoria. Why, you've come unhinged.
Surely you can see how difficult this is for her.
For her? What about my son?
What choice did I have, George? I saw him commit a murder.
Victoria, I don't understand any of all this. You've been like a second mother to that boy ever since Louise died. You've advised him, encouraged him to become a lawyer. You have his complete confidence. How can you possibly believe that he could kill anyone?
It's true.
It isn't true. You've made a mistake. It was a dark night, a sudden shock. Someone who looked like Buddy, maybe. I can see how that could happen, can't you? I'm sure the sheriff can.
I couldn't help hearing. Who is it I'm supposed to have murdered?
No one, Buddy. It's all a mistake.
She called herself Frisco Rose. Had a second-floor room over on Grand Street. You know her?
Only of her.
Well, I know the woman. She's been up before the bench on many an occasion for dissolute behavior.
Well, no matter what she was, I have to handle her killing the same as if she'd been a pillar of society. Isn't that right?
Certainly. But do you have any actual evidence against my son?
Nothing but Mrs. Barkley's word.
Well, I wonder if you have that.
Are you able to identify him as the man you saw shoot Frisco Rose?
heaven's name, Victoria, put a stop to this insanity. Tell the sheriff you were wrong.
Well, Mrs. Barkley?
He's the one.
I don't blame you, Aunt Victoria. I know it's nothing malicious, just an honest mistake.
Mother, would you wait in the hall for a moment, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm so sorry.
Now, I want to make something very clear. There's no question about what my mother saw. Take my advice, buddy. Don't wait for the truth to come out. Tell it now so your father can help you.
It's your mother who needs help. From a doctor, a specialist.
I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry for the tragedy that lies ahead.
Well, I hope you understand my position. If the witness had been anyone but Mrs. Barkley, I'd have my doubts.
Save your apology until you can make it to my son.
Oh. I still don't see any point in coming by here.
I had to. I had to make sure in my mind I couldn't have been mistaken.
Now, you listen to me. You say you saw Buddy commit murder. That's exactly what you saw.
But was it murder?
Frisco Rose couldn't be any more dead.
But a boy like that doesn't pull a trigger without reason, without provocation. Jared, I want you to look for that explanation.
All right, Mother. I'll start an investigation in the morning.
Oh, no, Jared, please, tonight.
Right after I take you home.
I can drive home by myself. I'll be fine. Please.
I'll do everything I can.
You better not drop that. Jared Barkley. Well, if Rose didn't pick the apple from top of the tree. I'm Ruthie.
How do you do?
I'm a friend of Rose's. I don't suppose you ever noticed me.
No, but I will the next time.
I suppose you came to see Rose. I hope it won't come as too much of a shock to you, but she's dead. Shot right outside in the alley.
Yes, I know. Ruthie, I don't suppose you'd mind if I took a little look around.
Help yourself. I just dropped in to pick up a few things she'll need. She always took a lot of pride in how she looked, you know. She'd want to knock their eyes out at that wake.
You known her very long?
3 years. These were her favorites. Which do you like best?
Oh, the green one. Hey, tell me something, Ruthie. Where'd she get all this Chinese stuff? Somebody give it to her?
She didn't talk much. Are you sure this pink one isn't better?
Oh, no, the green one, definitely. You know, this little trinket here looks kind of expensive. You sure you never heard her brag about who gave it to her?
Oh, she was very secret about him. I guess you're right. The green has more class.
Listen, tell me something, Ruthie. Same fella gave her all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
He must have been quite a character, huh? What did he look like? Can you describe him?
Oh, he never came around here. Rose used to meet him different places.
Oh, come on, Ruthie. She must have talked about him a little bit. You know, who he was, his name.
Just that he was from uptown, and his father was somebody important. Oh, you'll never guess what she called that one.
What was that?
The lizard. She used to laugh at him behind his back. Said she had him like a lizard on a string.
So, from what she said, everything points to a backstairs romance on Buddy's part. But it's pretty obvious that she was playing him for a sucker.
And he must have found out.
Maybe. Maybe there's a lot more to it than that.
I can't believe that. He's such a nice boy.
Yeah. Well, come on. I think it's time we all turned in.
I'll get it. Yeah?
I've come to see the lawyer.
Oh. Well, come on in.
You remember me, Ollie Patton? You helped me when I got pulled in for being drunk?
Oh, well, it's pretty late, Ollie. Can't it wait until morning?
I think this shot Frisco Rose. Somebody threw it away in the alley right after she got shot.
Did you see who it was?
All I seen was a shadow running away.
Oh. Well, you should have left it for the sheriff, Ollie. This way it's not much good as evidence.
Why not? Maybe they can prove it was Buddy's.
No, he can claim somebody stole it, and then it becomes his word against Ollie's. And whose word do you think the jury's going to take?
Then Miller's still the only one who can...
Finish it, Heath. The only one who can put a rope around Buddy's neck.
Mother, the silver doesn't need polishing. Silas did it last week.
I'm doing it again.
But why? Mother, you didn't sleep at all last night. Why don't you go upstairs?
Because I feel like polishing silver.
Well, then I'll help.
I don't want any help, Audra. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Mrs. Barkley? I hope I didn't alarm you. Ned Sprague, reporter for the Oakland Bulletin.
I don't like unannounced visitors, Mr. Sprague. Please leave the same way you came in.
Polishing the silver? That's what my mother used to do when she had a problem. It is a problem, isn't it? Having it in your power to send a friend's only son to the gallows?
Will you please leave, or must I call my sons?
All I'm trying to do, Mrs. Barkley, is get something for my readers. Don't they have a right to the facts?
Heath!
I've heard Judge Tyrone is one of your oldest and dearest friends. How does he feel now? What did he say when you accused... Now, what did you want to do that for? I'm only trying to do my job. What is it, Mother?
Heath, get him out of here.
Some of you reporters never learn, do you? Take your hand off me, cowboy.
What's that all about?
Some reporter bothering Mother.
There'll be others, other reporters, solicitors, friends. There's no escaping them.
It's impossible to protect you from that kind of thing.
You'll feel better if you get out in the sunshine. What do you say I hitch up the buggy?
Mother, I know you're exhausted. Why don't you take a nap?
No, what I'd really like to do is to get away from here. Take the train to Sacramento. I know. I could visit Minnie Grant. She's a good enough friend and she won't ask questions.
You have to testify at the inquest day after tomorrow.
But I'll only stay overnight. I'll be back tomorrow morning.
Why not?
You're right. Why not?
That's a wonderful idea, and I'll go with you.
Audra, dear, I'd like to be alone for a while. Please understand.
I'll be back.
You admit you got it from a drunk who says he found it in an alley. You call that evidence?
I found this in your son's closet when we searched your house. It fits Mrs. Barkley's description of what the killer wore.
Mrs. Barkley. So it all boils down to Victoria's preposterous accusation, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
You come to see your son. The boy hasn't said a word since he was arrested. Be better for him if he was to, cooperate.
You mean confess, don't you? Well, how could he? He's innocent. Buddy?
Dad, forgive me.
There's nothing to forgive, son. You're an innocent victim in all this. Now, don't let it get you down. Do you understand? I know how these mistakes can happen. It was dark in that alley. The man resembled you. Same age, same size. Victoria thought it was you. Well, she wanted it to be you.
Wanted?
I know. We've known each other all these years. But it happens. She must have harbored some deep resentment for some reason.
Dad, don't. Don't make it any worse. I killed that woman. Don't blame anyone but me.
What did you say?
Dad, I killed her.
Buddy, tell me.
I met her one afternoon down by the river. I didn't know who or what she was. Later, it didn't matter to me. I loved her, and I thought that she loved me.
When you found out she didn't, you felt you had to kill her?
It wasn't like that. It was you she was after. She planned the whole thing to get back at you. She hated you for putting her in the workhouse.
What did she want? Money?
She wanted to ruin your career. She had some letters I'd written. Presents and things. She used them like a shotgun to force me to marry her, and if I refused, she threatened to expose our affair. She said the headlines would read, Jezebel and the Judge's Boy. Either way, it would make you a laughingstock. I tried to reason with her, but the more I begged, the more she laughed. I never saw her like that. Ugly, vicious, gloating. God help me, I shot her. Would you stay with me while I tell the sheriff?
No.
I don't want you to tell anyone.
Dad?
No! No, not for my sake, for yours. None of this is your fault, son. It was all that woman's. So why should you pay for her vindictiveness? She brought it all on herself.
Aunt Victoria saw what happened.
It's only her unsupported word. And that may not even be enough for the grand jury to indict. Believe me, son, I know what I'm talking about.
I don't understand. You were always such a stickler for the letter of the law.
Yes, but not when it conflicts with justice. Good boy. And not a word. Don't lose your courage.
Tea for Mrs. Barkley.
Oh, thank you. You shouldn't have bothered. You blame me, don't you?
It is not for a servant to blame friend of his master.
I understand. I know how loyal you are to the judge.
Indeed, his son is as my son.
Bring me a whiskey.
I was at the depot waiting for the train. I heard Buddy had been arrested.
Well, what else did you expect? I'm sorry, Victoria. I know how difficult this must be for you.
George, I don't know what to do.
You'll do your duty.
But I was hoping you could help me. You've always been able to see your way out of any dilemma with such clarity and assurance.
Clarity and assurance. Victoria, the whole world's turned upside down. I always set such high standards for the boy. His mother and I both agreed on that. He never once failed to toe the mark.
Perhaps you made him toe the mark a little too closely. Isn't it possible he never learned how to cope with situations and people who don't obey your strict rules?
Are you holding up your own sons as paragons of virtue? Nick has brawled in every saloon in the country, and Jared finds clients among the most unsavory elements.
Well, I think they could deal with Frisco Rose without killing her.
Buddy did not kill her. I think it's only fair to warn you that your account of this affair won't go unchallenged.
I'm sorry. I guess it was I guess I made a mistake in coming here.
You made your mistake the other night. You're going to find out that my son is more important to me than anything on this earth. Anything. Including old friendships. And I'll do anything in my power to keep you from harming him.
George, I didn't mean to harm him. All I wanted to...
Victoria. Victoria.
The tea give the woman sleep. It is only short sleep. But perhaps you desire short sleep become long sleep?
What are you talking about?
Which is of greater value? Life of only son, or the woman who will speak against him in court?
This isn't China, Wing. You don't just get rid of your enemies.
It is possible. Her family believes she's on train to Sacramento. We have time to drop her in river.
No, Wing.
This is your son. Would you have him die? You must kill her.
If she could be out of the way for a while. Just disappear.
Well, it's Judge Tyrone, isn't it? This is indeed a great honor.
I have someone who requires care. She's been given something to calm her down. Gently. Gently.
You mustn't worry about a thing. I assure you the dear lady will have the best of care.
I don't want to put into a ward, you understand? She's to have absolute privacy.
I understand.
Her doctor thought it might be prudent to keep her sleeping as much as possible until she's had time to become adjusted to her new surroundings.
Just you leave everything to us. Now, shall we attend to the dreary formalities? The unfortunate one's name.
Jane Doe.
Indeed.
The lady is an embarrassment to a prominent San Francisco family. They've asked me to attend to all the details with the strictest secrecy. I shall expect your full cooperation.
This is rather irregular.
Mr. Pruitt, your institution is famed for its irregularities. I trust one more won't make any difference.
Very well. Shall we discuss rates?
Understood. This is to be kept with absolute secrecy.
Now, don't worry about a thing. Everything will be taken care of, Judge.
Thank
Please, please let me out of here. Let me out of here, please! Quit that man!
Well, what do we got here? Quality from the looks of you.
I want to know where I am.
Where your family's had you put.
My family couldn't possibly know where I am. It was a judge, Judge Tyrone.
It ain't half bad here. You just behave yourself and everything will be all right.
What is this place?
The Ophir Sanitarium.
But that's
A home for them poor unfortunates that ain't welcome in their own home. Them that otherwise would be locked in the attic.
Do you know who I am?
Your papers say Jane Doe.
I'm Victoria Barkley.
Well, now, ain't that something? Now, Beanie here, she's the sister of the King of England. Now, don't you be afraid of poor old Beanie. She's just tame as a little old house cat.
Meow.
Can you purr real pretty?
Ain't she a caution?
Oh,
No!
Shame on you!
Oh.
while. Hello, Nick.
Well, I met that early train Mother was supposed to be on. She wasn't on it.
Well, maybe she decided to take the late one.
Well, maybe. But I don't blame her for missing that inquest altogether.
I wouldn't worry about that. She'll be there.
Still, maybe I should send a wire, find out what time she's coming in for sure.
I think that's a good idea. I'll tell you what. You could do that on the way to buying me lunch.
What, me pick up a check for a prosperous lawyer? I wouldn't humiliate you.
I would dream of denying you the opportunity.
Out.
Where are we going?
That's for me to know. Come back here. I'm gonna learn you.
Stop that! I've warned you.
Well, I've got to keep some discipline. It's the second time she's tried to run away.
What's she doing up here?
I was taking her to the laundry to show her duties.
We like to keep our people busy here.
How much did the judge pay you? How much was it worth to him to keep me from testifying tomorrow? 5,000? 10,000? Or didn't he tell you I'm Victoria Barkley? The Victoria Barkley who saw his son commit a murder?
My, we do have an imagination.
Can't you see he's tricked you? He kidnapped me and made you his accomplice.
God.
It's the truth! It's the truth! Read it in the papers! I tell you it's the truth! Why have you listened to me?
An embarrassment to a prominent San Francisco family.
Obviously, I lied. What do you propose to do? Confess to the sheriff that you were a party to her imprisonment?
There is an alternative.
No?
$5,000.
This is preposterous. You don't think I'm going to submit to blackmail?
Magnificent, isn't it? The artist seems to capture the inner nature of the beast. The savagery and anguish we humans strive so hard to conceal. It's almost as though this fellow were watching his only son mount the gallows. Well? Splendid. I shall require the money tonight, in cash.
You'll have it.
I'll expect you at 9 sharp. May I ask your future plans for Mrs. Barkley? Is this to be a permanent arrangement?
What?
You know, some of our unfortunates can't endure confinement. They wilt like flowers in the noon sun and are buried in our own plot.
Get out.
Jared! Jared!
Nick, what are you hollering about?
I got this wire. She never showed up at Minnie Grant's. You figure it out.
Maybe she stayed at the hotel. She said she wanted to be alone.
No. I checked with the ticket agent in Stockton. He never saw her get on that train yesterday.
She might have taken a stage, changed her mind.
Or had it changed for her. You know, if Mother doesn't show up for that inquest, Jared, they got no case against Buddy. Huh?
Well, I think we better pay the judge a little visit.
shouldn't have tried to run away. Oh, you shouldn't be mad at Beanie.
Well, you see, Beanie, I'm new here, and I don't have a friend to tell me what's right or wrong.
Oh, that's too bad.
Would you like to be my friend?
I already have a friend. Her name is Eleanor, and she comes to visit me every night when I'm asleep, and we go to choir practice. We shall gather at the river. We shall gather at the river at the wonderful one.
Beanie, you see, that's a nighttime friend. Couldn't you be my daytime friend?
You are a naughty girl. What do daytime friends do?
Oh, they have tea parties. Wouldn't you like to come in here and have a tea party with me?
With crackers and jam?
Yes, yes. Oh, but how could you come in? I don't know how to open the door.
With a key?
I don't have a key.
Only Miss Alice has a key.
Oh, she would never let us have her key, but I think I could get the door open if I had a nail or a piece of wire. Beanie, could you get me a piece of wire?
Why don't you invite Miss Alice? She has a key.
Oh, I don't like Miss Alice. I don't like her at all. Now, Beanie. Huh? Beanie, if you want to come in here and have a tea party with me, you're going to have to get me a piece of wire.
Miss Alice might not like it. She'll punish me if I'm a bad girl. Oh, no.
Beanie, no! Oh.
Wingley, we want to talk to the judge.
Sorry, Judge, off for the evening.
Jared, Nick.
Oh, I thought you were still in
jail? Dad bailed me out this afternoon. How's your mother?
Thought you could tell us that.
What? I wanted to go out and see her this afternoon, but Dad said she's gone up to Sacramento.
Well, now, wonder how you knew that.
What's wrong?
She's disappeared, buddy. We haven't seen her since yesterday afternoon.
Well, what are you doing here? Why haven't you got the sheriff to organize a search?
We are searching. You seem awfully worried, buddy, for someone who can convict you of a murder. Hold it, buddy. Hold it. Hold it.
How could you even think I'd hurt her? Jared, I swear I'd rather hang a dozen times.
The judge may not agree with that.
He couldn't have...
No?
Wing Lee, has Mrs. Barkley been here since the other night?
Regret the lady has not.
You're absolutely sure of that?
We swear the same on Bible book.
Oh? The Bible doesn't mean anything to you, Wingley?
Do like witness in courtroom.
Chinese witnesses swear an oath on their sacred ancestors.
Are you willing to do that?
Buddy, I think we'll need a few squib and a live chicken.
We've got a white rooster in the coop out back.
I'll get it. You're gonna kill that chicken, Wingley, just like they do in court. And if you're lying, the blood of your family will spill too.
But not tell lie, Wingley, never tell lies.
Buddy, hand me that punk.
If you're trying to protect me, you mustn't. If my father has done anything to Mrs. Barkley, you've got to tell us. Don't you see? If he's done anything to harm her, he's in the wrong. He's betrayed himself and everything he's ever stood for.
Dog. Ungrateful dog!
Sit down. All right, Wingley, now let's have it, the truth. Here it is, the Trinity. Heaven, earth, and man.
If I had my way, you'd go hungry again. But Mr. Pruitt, he says to slop you with the rest.
Thank him for me.
My, ain't we haughty? Well, you get hungry enough, you'll eat what's put in front of you.
I want to go to the tea party. property now?
Yes, I was just coming to get you. You go on inside, and I'll go tell the cook.
Oh, we're going to have fun. We are going to have such fun.
You mentioned something about a burial plot. I haven't seen one.
I was referring to the old Ophir mine down the road. Its abandoned shafts are hundreds of feet deep, quite convenient. Have you had a change of heart since we spoke this afternoon?
No. No. What is that commotion outside? It's Victoria. She's getting away.
Get me something with her scent on it. The blanket from her bed. The dogs will track her down.
Where is she? Victoria! Oh.
Oh, please, George. Please, no. You made one mistake, don't make another.
Your testimony could hang, buddy.
But he killed a girl. I saw him do it. I wish I hadn't, but I did. He's a murderer.
He's my son.
And he's my godson, and I love him, but...
I'm sorry, Victoria. I'm truly sorry.
Mother? Mother!
Judge, put that gun away.
Are you all right?
Yes, Judge.
Buddy, talk to your father. Get him to put that gun away. Buddy?
Buddy! 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 Nick! Nick! Now take it easy. Just take it easy.
Judge, you just shot your son. Did you hear me? Your son's got a bullet in him. Don't you think you've done enough? Buddy? Buddy?
Oh, buddy, no. I didn't mean to harm you. I wanted to help you. I couldn't see you. I was trying to save you.
Dad, you were wrong. We were both wrong.
Oh, no, buddy. Forgive me, son. No, buddy.
You know something, Audra? I don't think we should ever let her out of our sight again. Hello, lovely lady.
Jared, how is the judge?
Well, I just came from the sheriff's office. He won't accept a lawyer, and he doesn't want any mercy.
You know, it's hard to understand what happened to him. He wasn't an evil man.
Oh, no, he wasn't evil. He stood for justice all his life. But when it came to his son, he was more father than judge.
Mother, that's all over with now. You're going to have to try and forget it.
No, I don't think I ever can forget it. But I'm all right.
Are you? You know, whenever you polish silverware.
Ah, but this is an occasion. I feel as though I've been away from my family for such a long, long time. That tonight at dinner, I want the prettiest silver in the whole world.
Sure is a nice-looking herd. Wouldn't mind roping them right now.
No, we're gonna stay right here and wait.
Well, he could have gotten wind of us by now.
Oh, he'll be here. He wouldn't desert his mares.
I sure hope he gets here before dark.
Oh, there he is right now, standing up there on that crest.
That's Big Ripper. Willie, give the men the signal.
All right, let's go.
Well, I didn't see the signal.
Well, you had to see it from here.
Well, I was watching all the time, Heath. Believe me, I surely was.
If you just waved your hat, we'd have had that stallion right in our trap. He got away. What the devil happened, Bramer?
Well, I didn't see the signal. I don't think Willie gave it.
He gave it.
Well, if he did, then maybe them trees blocked my sight.
It's all right, Nick. There's nothing we can do about it now.
But, yeah, what probably happened?
Forget it, Bramer. I know what happened.
Morning.
Morning. No hurry.
No hurry. The boys are already riding out.
Well, you don't have to ride out this morning, Bramer.
What are you talking about?
Bramer, how long have you been with us now? About 14 years, haven't you?
That's right. 14 years, come this summer.
I think it's about time you started taking things a little easier. I think you deserve a better job.
Like what?
Like maintenance. Up at the ranch, there's always plenty of things that need fixing, and I'm going to talk to Nick about it.
Fixing? You mean sweeping up?
Well, not sweeping up. There are plenty of other jobs.
Now, you look here, young fella. I don't care if you're a Barkley or who you are. You're talking to old Bramer, you hear? Not some old stable hand.
I know that, Bramer, but the pay's the same.
Same as a cowhand?
Sure.
Should be. I am a cowhand, one of the best. You ever hear tell how I came by the name Bramer? It was before your time, before you knew one end of the horse from the other. I wish you could have been there to see me then. I was riding this Bramer bull in this rodeo. He was the biggest beast I've ever seen, and he threw me. And after he threw me, he come bearing down on me with his horns. There was only one thing to do, and I did it. I grabbed him with my bare hands, and I wrestled him to the ground.
I know, you told me that story before. But, Bramer, that was 20 years ago. Now, what I'm trying to say is that there comes a time like yesterday.
Yesterday. That could have happened to anybody. It was only an accident. So I missed once. Once in all these years.
It hasn't just been once.
And anyway, I don't think Willie signaled me.
He signaled you, Bramer. Only you were asleep in the saddle. Now, let's face it.
Let's face it, you're trying to fire me, that's what.
No, I'm not trying to fire you, Bramer. Believe me, we're all very fond of you.
I don't need your affection. I'm thinking about my livelihood, my job.
And I'm saying you can stay on here as long as you like. The same pay.
Sure. A charity case. No, thank you.
Bramer, listen.
I'm quitting, mister.
Andrea, here. Put your hand up here. No, not that way. Oh, my goodness, will you please hold still? I've got to see how this looks.
Oh, Mama, when are you going to be done? I got to go play horseshoes.
Andrea Marston, the next time I hear you playing horseshoes again with the fellas, when are you going to remember that you're a young lady now, and young ladies don't play horseshoes?
Oh, Mama.
Oh, Mama. Don't keep saying, oh, Mama, all the time, either. My goodness, when I was your age, things was entirely different. Lord, what I wouldn't have given to have a hat like this and a pretty new dress to catch the eye of a certain young man. In those days, there was always one I wanted to look nice for. One that made me feel special when he was near. Oh, my goodness, one that made me feel like little fish was jumping up my veins. Oh, I was a romantic one. You were, Mama? Yes. All I was trying to say was, The way you act, it's more like a tomboy. More like... Grandpa!
Hi, Andy.
Oh, how wonderful. I didn't know you were coming.
Didn't know it myself. How you doing?
Fine, just fine. Feel that muscle.
Hey.
Tough, huh? Can you spend the night?
Don't see why not.
What's going on here? It's no holiday.
No, it ain't.
Then you ain't feeling sick.
I never felt better in my life.
Well, thank heaven for that. Andrea, you come sit back here. I gotta finish this hat for Mrs. Peabody. Oh, Mama. Not what Grandpa's here. How long you gonna stay?
I don't know. I just might stay quite a spell.
You might what? Papa, you look me straight in the eye. Did you get yourself fired?
No, I didn't get myself fired. I quit.
I don't believe it. You quit the Barkleys?
Yeah, I sure did. I guess I've been a cowhand enough years to match my know-how against any of them. I can ride, rope, and brand, and round up anything. You name it.
Now, hold on. Did somebody say you couldn't do any of them things?
Well, there's some things just don't need saying in so many words. But when somebody asks me would I like to sweep out a bunkhouse, well, I guess nobody can ask me that and expect me to be around very long.
He's right, Mama. He asked you to sweep out the bunkhouse. Well, I don't believe it.
Well, just what do you think maintenance means?
Hold on, I said. Is what he asked you to do for the same pay?
Same pay? What's that got to do with it? I guess I know an insult when I hear one.
Insult my eye. Well, you ornery old fool, Papa. Don't you realize that they were being kind to you? They were offering you an easier job when, if they'd wanted to, they could just let you go.
No, they couldn't, because I quit.
Papa, I want you to pay attention to me. Ever since Andrea's father died, I've been working for a living.
Yeah, I know.
I've been putting together bits and pieces of ribbon, felt, and straw. Don't you think there are times I get so sick of ladies' bonnets and dresses I could throw them all in the trash heap? But do I? No. I've got a job, see? I got to feed and clothe Andrea and myself. I got no choice. Now, Papa, you're no child. You can't just tell somebody who makes you an offer, a kind and generous offer, I call it. You just can't say no.
That's your opinion. When's supper?
I'll go right up now and fix it. Papa, I want you to go up and I want you to eat your supper. And I want you to get to that cot and I want you to lie there and get yourself a night's rest. And I want you to go straight out to the Barkleys first thing in the morning and apologize.
To Heath Barkley? Apologize?
You can call it what you will. I want you to get out there and I want you to tell him that you've changed your mind and that you would be real grateful to take the new job he offered you.
You haven't said a word in 10 minutes. That must be a record for you. Something bothering you?
No.
You also put 4 spoons of sugar in your coffee this morning and forgot to drink it.
Well?
Well, what?
I don't know. It's just awful different around here with that old Brahma. Shouldn't have let him go, Heath.
I didn't let him go, Nick. I told you he quit.
It amounts to the same thing, doesn't it? You told a man he was too old for his job anymore.
Well, he is too old to go hunting after wild stallions.
Just because he didn't see that signal? I must admit, I was a little bit hot about it myself. Then again, maybe he was right. Maybe what he said was true. Maybe there were trees in the way.
No, Nick, there were no trees in the way. Look, I didn't want to tell you this, but yesterday Brahma was asleep in the saddle.
Asleep? Heath, you're not thinking.
I don't think, Nick, I know. Now, we've been after that horse for days, and his bones just couldn't take it anymore. And what's more important, he could have been trampled to death.
Well, guess I can't argue much about that now, can I? Then again, I don't have to like it either. You know, we just don't let a man go. A man that's given us his 2 good hands and sweat and loyalty over the years. We just don't let him go, Heath.
Well, look, Nick, I was going to talk to you about getting him something else to do. But he quit. What else could I do?
I don't know. Nothing, I guess. Well, if we're gonna get that stallion, we better get to it.
You go ahead. I'll meet you up on the Blue Mountain Trail.
All right. Come on, Corporal.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Andy. Well, aren't you going to say hello?
Hello.
Came to see your grandfather. Is he here?
He's already left.
Did he say where he was going?
My mama made him get up early this morning so he could go back out at the ranch and see you.
That's funny. I would have seen him on the way in.
I say good for him. So he didn't go back after all.
Andy, I brought what your grandfather had come in and pay.
You can put it over there.
Andy, I hope you don't misunderstand. We really like your grandfather.
Oh, sure you do. Trying to cut him down? Trying to make out he isn't good enough anymore? My grandfather's about the best cowboy in these parts. Why, he can ride better than anybody I know. I bet he can ride better than you any old day. So I'm telling you, you got a fat nerve telling him to go sweep up your barn. I hope he never sets his foot on your dumb old ranch again.
Well?
Well, what?
You went to see Brema.
He wasn't there.
Oh, changed your mind about him, huh?
No, I didn't, Nick. If you want to hire him back to get himself killed, then you'll have to do it yourself. Nick, you all right?
My arm, I think it's broken. Ah! I'm stupid. I got off at Coco. I thought maybe I could get him from the ground. I wanted to forefoot him. I almost had him. Almost had him.
I almost had you.
Oh.
I could be doing that for you, too, Mr. Wilson. Shoe horses, ride them, break them. You name the job, I can do it.
Brema, I told you already. Got my hands full paying the help I got as it is.
Well, I wouldn't worry too much about the money, Mr. Wilson. I can wait for that. Could wait a whole month if need be.
Well, there's no need, because I'm not hiring. Is that clear?
Yeah, it's clear.
Brema, you just gotta understand. There's nothing I can do about it. Why don't you try Haney's or that place over near the Bill Pop?
Tried them both. Well, thanks anyway.
Brema, I'm real sorry.
Think nothing of it, Mr. Wilson. It's just an idea I had anyway. Fact is, I actually got me a job out Nevada way. I just take it.
You better do that.
Mr. Carberry?
Afternoon, Bramo.
Nice day, isn't it?
Well, weather's been real fine.
Hey, you know, I was just wondering if you ain't maybe looking for a good, strong, experienced cowhand.
Always can use one. Who'd you have in mind?
Me?
Aren't you still out on the Barkley ranch?
Nope. Quit yesterday. Me and that Heath Barkley just didn't see eye to eye.
I don't know. I always heard the Barkleys were pretty good people to work for. Anyway, I really don't need a man just now.
Oh, that ain't what you said a minute ago.
Sorry, Bramo. I guess I can't help you.
You can't help me. You and every other rancher I talked to today. Mr. Carberry, I'm 60 years old. I worked hard all of my whole life, and suddenly I wake up one morning and, like that, I'm nothing. I'm nothing because a mealy-mouthed Barkley chooses to say so. I'm finished, wiped out. Wiped out of a chance to earn a roof over my head and a meal in my stomach.
I don't want to get into a discussion of your personal problems with the Barkleys. I'm not interested in what happened out there.
You're not interested? Now, that's the truest thing you ever said. You're not interested if a man has to go hungry. If a man
You quit, didn't you?
Sure, I quit. You think I want to be treated like some feeble charity case? I don't need the Barkley's charity, and I don't need yours. All I'm asking is a chance to earn a decent, honest living.
You'll excuse me?
No, I won't excuse you. No, I'm beyond excusing. I'm at the end of my rope. Can't you see that?
Bramo, get hold of yourself. Come on. People are looking at you. Nick. Nick, what have you been up to? Looks like you're tangled with a grizzly bear.
Worse than that, old Ripper.
That wild stallion? Well, they say he's a killer.
No, never heard of him taking sugar out of anyone's hand. I don't think he's going to start now. Hey, Bremen.
Yeah. Bramer, wait, I want to talk to you.
Give me a bottle.
Looking all over for you.
Andy, what are you doing here? This ain't no place for you.
What's wrong that I've been here before?
Well, come on over here and sit down. Bring her a sarsaparilla.
Where have you been?
Well, I ain't been back to the Barkleys, that's for sure.
You okay, Grandpa?
Yeah.
Grandpa, listen. Now, you shouldn't let this business with the Barkleys get you down. Well, heck, you can get a job at any ranch in town.
Of course I can. At least I thought I could. I can see it all now. There's only one possible explanation. It's them Barkleys. They're the ones to blame. Would you believe it, Andy? I went to every ranch within 10 miles of here. And nothing. And you know why? Because them Barkleys spread the word not to hire me, that's why.
Boy, if that ain't the meanest thing I ever heard. People just oughtn't to listen to them Barkleys.
Yeah. Well, they won't. Not when I get finished, they won't. I'm gonna show them I'm as good as any of them. I'm gonna show them.
Sure you will.
Thing is, how?
Oh. Well, you'll think of something.
Yeah, well, I've been studying on it. There's a way, all right. There's a surefire way. Them wild horses.
The wild horses?
Well, sure. Ain't everybody in town been crazy to catch 'em?
The stallion. Big Ripper, that's the one they want.
Of course. And has anybody caught him yet? That Nick Barkley. Ha! You should have seen him the way I just saw him a while ago outside. If that don't prove they don't know the first thing about going after a wild stallion, I don't know what does.
You know something? If they had any sense, they would have asked you. Why, remember the time you wrestled down that Brahma bull barehanded? Did you ever tell them that story?
Yeah, I told them. They said that was 20 years ago. That's all they cared. 20 years. You know, I got a wild plan running around my head. What if I was to go out on my own and bring back the leader of that herd? That wild stallion.
Could you still do it, alone?
Of course I could if I set my mind to it. Yeah, I sure could. What would you say, Andy? What would you say if old Brahma brought in that wild stallion? What would the Barkleys say? The whole town?
Yeah, that'd show them all.
Thanks.
When are you gonna do it?
Well, be soon.
How soon?
Well, real soon. But, well, Andy, you gotta understand that going out after a wild stallion ain't something you do half-cocked. Oh, no, you gotta make plans. You gotta think about this.
I'll help you make plans. What's first?
Well, first I'd have to get myself a good horse.
Not Charlie?
No, not Charlie. Charlie ain't the horse for this. He's not strong enough and not fast enough. Now, anybody going after a wild stallion gotta have a strong horse and a fast horse. That's for certain.
Well, come on, then. Let's get started.
Yes, sir. There's a fine lot of horses here. Now, you just take your pick, and I'll make you a good price.
How much for that bay over there?
Now, I gotta say this for your grandfather. He's got a fine eye for horseflesh.
Well, he should. He's only the best cowboy in this county.
How much?
Brahma, since you're a knowledgeable fella, I'm gonna show you one real bargain. There now. You ever see a better-looking cow pony? Well, you've probably seen better. But he's sound in wind and limb and sight and... Well, what's more, I can make you a real price on this horse.
He's a jughead. Rib cage is too small. He's torn in. He's got bowed tendons. His hocks are too far apart. Bring him over here.
Yeah.
And judging from his teeth, he's got to be over 8 years old. I wouldn't have that horse for any price.
Well, it's like I said. Your grandfather's got 2 sharp eyes.
How much for the bay?
Well, now that's a problem, Brahma. You see, I got to get a price for that horse. Now, there ain't another horse can touch that bay except Heath Barkley's horse, Charger.
How much you asking?
$100.
$100?
Now, I'll give you $20 for that nag you rode in. But that's the best I can do.
I ain't got that kind of money on me.
Well, not many men walking around do, Brahma. But I'll give you credit. Anybody who works for the Barkleys has got credit with me.
Yeah, well...
Tell you what. Leave me your horse's down payment and give me, $10 a payday. What day's payday out the Barkleys?
My grandpa...
Never mind, honey. Just forget it. Forget it. I'll get me a horse someplace else. Come on.
Well, not like that bay, you won't.
Grandpa! You get your horse.
I got it, Andy. That's for sure. Only I don't know where. We looked all over, and so far, no luck. You know, a horse like that bay is going to be hard to find.
Except Charger. He said so himself that the Barkley's horse Charger is just as good.
Sure. If I had Charger, I'd be a cinch to get that stallion. If.
Thanks, Jay.
You look lovely, ladies. Ah, yes.
It's easy to see why the senator invited us to dinner. He wants you two to supply the beauty and glamour.
Nonsense, Jared. I have a feeling that the senator is going to ask you to manage his campaign for him.
Well, not a chance of that.
I'll get it.
He hasn't asked me yet, but even if he does, I'm much too busy.
Andy! Maybe I shouldn't have come, but it's real important.
Come on in.
I've forgotten what a beautiful place you got here.
It's been a long time since we've seen you.
Andy, what a pleasant surprise.
Miss Barkley,
It's nice to see you, Andy.
you look like you're all dressed up to go to a party or somewhere.
Oh, we're in no hurry. We're waiting for friends. Please, sit down.
I got a ride out here from Jay Gordon. I don't mean to stay or anything. I had to see Heath.
Heath? Oh, well, he's in the barn hitching up the buggy. He'll be here any minute. Tell me, how is your grandfather?
Oh, he's fine. Just fine. Why, he's even got a couple of jobs lined up. Or he might be taking a trip to Nevada.
Good.
Well, anyway, that's why I came to see Heath.
Hello, Andy.
Bet you sure didn't expect to see me here. It's about my grandfather. I come to ask a favor.
Well, I hope it's something I can do.
Easy. Just let me borrow Charger.
Charger?
Well, now, do you mind telling us why?
I think you ought to give my grandfather a fair chance. I think you owe it to him. I think it's the least you can do. You people, you don't know how a man feels.
Oh, Andy, you know how much we think of your grandfather.
Well, if you do, prove it. Don't you see? It's his only chance to show himself, and he can't do it without a strong, fast horse like Charger. He can't get that stallion unless...
Stallion?
Your grandfather's thinking about going after that wild stallion?
He'll do it, too. He'll show you. But he can't do it without Charger.
No,
No,
I can't do that.
you can't, or you won't.
No, wait a minute, Andy. A couple of days ago, he said no, he'd had a fight on his hands. But since then, I've had a crack at that stallion, and I'm sorry, I've got to go along with Heath. I was lucky to come out with just a broken arm.
Is that your answer? All of you? Well, thanks. Thanks a whole lot.
Andy.
People say the Barkleys are such a kind, understanding family. Always ready to help someone. That's what they say. Well, now, I know different. My grandfather was right about you Barkleys.
Excuse me. Andy! Andy, wait! Now, where are you going?
Just leave me alone.
Now, look, it's late. You can't walk home. It's too far. Now, how did you plan to get back?
If you weren't so stingy with your dumb horse, I could have ridden him back.
Well, come on back, and I'll take you home in the buggy.
No, thanks.
Now, Andy, don't be stubborn.
Listen here, Heath Barkley. My grandfather and I can get along just fine without your family, so you can go off to your dumb, highfalutin parties.
Andy, I'm asking you. And now I'm telling you, you're going to come back with me and take you home in that buggy. Hold still and listen to me. Andy, you go pay attention, you're going to get a wallop and get spanked.
Oh, don't you dare talk to me like that. I'm 14 years old, almost 15.
And you're acting like 8. Now, Andy, for the love of heaven, get some sense into that head of yours. Stop worrying about what Brahma wants and start thinking about what's good for him. And he can't go after that stallion.
I know it's a little dangerous, but he's good, and you don't know how good.
Andy, I know this. Your grandfather is 60 years old. Now, his mind's willing, his spirit's willing, but he's not as strong as he used to be. He's not the same man that wrestled that Brahma. Andy, he can't get that stallion.
If you don't give him a chance, though, it might break his heart.
Well, then let it. I say better to break his heart than break his back, or worse. Andy, what you're asking me to do is give him a horse so that he can go out and get himself killed. I know it's hard for you to understand. But Andy, sometimes we have to hurt the ones we love in order to help them.
Never thought of it like that.
Come on back. Let me take you home.
Here we are.
Thank you again. Very much.
You're very much welcome.
Got y'all dirty. I'm sorry.
What's nothing?
So ashamed.
Well, there's no need be.
Frighten you like a tomboy? I reckon you do think I'm a tomboy, don't you?
No, Andy, I think you're a girl with a lot of deep, warm feelings, and I know you want what's best for your grandfather.
Well, guess I shouldn't keep you talking here, seeing as you have to get to that party. Thank you again. Very much.
Yeah, I guess I had better be getting back. Come on, Andy.
Heath, you could call me Andrea if you like.
All right, Andrea. Good night.
Yeah. Wasn't sleeping, just thinking.
Oh, I've been thinking too, Grandpa,
Oh?
about that stallion.
What about it?
Well, I wish that... I wish that for me, I wish you'd forget it.
Forget it?
Well, what are we gonna do with the stallion? My gosh, it's such a dangerous thing to do, and what for?
What for? Well, honey, just to show him and...
But, Grandpa... But you don't have to show anything to me, Grandpa. I love you always, even if you never catch any stallions.
And you really wouldn't care if I didn't go after that there stallion?
I wouldn't want you to. And even the Barkley said...
Don't mention their name to me, honey.
Oh, Grandpa, you're so wrong about them. They really do care for you.
Oh, sure.
They're real nice people, Grandpa. Especially Heath. My gosh, did you ever notice how handsome he is? The way he kind of makes you feel like you was someone special or something. Well, he kind of fixed that blanket around me when we got into the buggy.
Now, wait a minute. When did you get into a buggy with Heath Barkley?
Well, I was just going to tell you, Grandpa.
Well, I'm listening.
I thought that maybe if I went out there and if I talked to them, that maybe I could help. But then Heath explained everything to me.
Yeah, I'll bet he did.
Well, let me tell you, Grandpa.
I don't want to hear any more. They weren't satisfied turning the whole town against me. They had to work on you, too.
They didn't.
They told you I was too old and worn out, didn't they?
They just said that it was a dangerous thing for you to do. You're liable to get your neck busted. They said that if
I
you
don't
went
want to
up
hear any more.
Oh, Grandpa!
That was some party, wasn't it?
Sure was.
You know something, Heath? I'm beginning to think that the senator might have a real chance in this election.
Well, he has. Now that he's hog-tied you into handling his campaign. I think Mother was right. She hit the nail on the head.
Well, I'll tell you something. If I were as good at predicting what people are going to do as she is, I might just give up law and go into politics.
Well, you're already in. You're going to be in a lot deeper when you start on that tour with him, too.
Yeah, I guess you're right. What's the matter?
Thought I heard something.
Heard something? What?
Nothing, I guess.
You look different this morning.
Do I, Mama?
You got a dress on.
Well, I think I'm getting too old to be a tomboy.
Did I hear you right? Andrea, look at me. Have you got something to tell your mother?
Well, I guess it's kind of like what you said. Little fish jumping through your veins. Mama, am I pretty? Am I... I'll get it. Heath.
Hello, Andy. Andrea.
Come on in. Mother, it's Heath Barkley.
How nice to
Hello,
see you,
Mrs. Marsden.
Mr. Barkley. Oh, won't you have a cup of coffee?
Thank you.
Andrea made it.
Oh?
And if I do say so of my own daughter, she makes the best coffee in town.
I just happened by to ask about Raymond.
Oh, well, I spoke to him last night about what you said, and I tried to explain it to him, but I think you're going to have to. Milk, sugar?
Oh, it's time he was up.
Is he here?
Oh, yes, he's in his room. Andrea, go wake your grandfather.
Pretty dress.
Thank you. I just finished it.
He's gone.
He's gone?
I was afraid of that. One of our horses was missing this morning.
Charger?
I'm not saying Brahma took it.
Well, why would Brain... No, oh, no, he wouldn't.
He did it, Mama. I know. He went out to get that stallion.
All by himself? Why, that silly old fool, he'll kill himself. Oh, Grandpa!
Now, Andrea, don't you worry. I'm going to go after him.
You must have got up early before us and gone out.
Well, I'll catch up to him. Thanks for the coffee. I don't know, son's waiting lunch for Heath. He's up in the hills, looking for Brahma.
And it's true, he did take charge of her.
I'm afraid so, the stubborn old critter.
Oh, Nick, he may be old and he may be stubborn, but there's no excuse for us.
Well, now, what is that supposed to mean?
I think we made a big mistake
Well,
about
now,
Brahma.
wait a minute. I thought so, too, at first. When a man gets that old, he doesn't have the strength he used to have. We did what he could. We didn't try to embarrass him by giving him charity. We gave him a good, decent, honest job. Now, what's wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong, Nick. We just took an old man's pride away from him.
What?
Well, he thinks he's a little better than just a handyman. 50 years of experience now, that must be worth something.
Of course it's worth something.
Yes, but what did we do to take advantage of it? Now, you know, just because a man is old and weary, that's no excuse to put him out to pasture. He's still a man. And the years he's lived, no matter at what, must mean he has something to offer. And a man, Nick, a man has to know he has something to offer. Otherwise, he just stops caring about living anymore.
you. Please, God, help me. I got him. I got him. Bramer! Stay away! Stay away, do you hear? He's mine! He'll kill you! Stay away, I'm warning you! Bramer, let him go! Don't try again! What'd you do that for?
I had to, Bramer.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. I could have gotten that stallion. I'm just as good as I ever was.
No, you're not. Bramer, you can kill me. And you can go after that stallion again. And if you're lucky, you may get a rope on it without getting yourself killed. But it won't change a thing. It won't make you young again. Nothing can make you young again. You've got to accept that, Bramer. I'm sorry.
I'm still young enough to get into a saddle by myself. And I ain't too old and worn out to find my way home.
How'd it go? Fine, Heath, just fine. Only I hope I never hear another brass band. How's everything around here? Couldn't be better. What's this, new stock?
Yeah.
Come on, take a look.
Little fellers, ain't they?
They sure are. Belgian, aren't they?
Yeah, straight from St. Joe. Our new livestock buyer picked them up.
Wait to see the Percherons he got for us. Got them working up the North Field. They must weigh over, a ton apiece.
A ton?
All right, wait till you see.
Well, now, I'd like to just as soon as I can. You didn't tell me you were going to hire a new livestock buyer. Who is he?
Only the best horseman in the whole state. Missed you.
Missed you, too. Well, it seems I have a little catching up to do around here. When do I meet this new man?
Right now. Come on.
We can put him away. Watch your toes.
Bramer.
Mr. Jarrett, welcome home.
Thank you, Bramer. Seeing you here makes it seem a lot more like being home.
Well, the family thought I could do the job, and I guess I can. I know horses pretty well.
Bramy, you know more about horses than anyone else in the whole valley.
Well, anyway, from now on, I'm gonna leave it up to you fellas to get busted up chasing stallions. I got plenty to keep myself busy here. And I ain't finished yet.
You bet you're not.
Well, how'd he not by alongside?